Hi everyone, it's Ayozia here. Here to share a rose journal that I've been working on. This one was an order for, this is your journal, Melinda. But I wanted to share it anyway because I used a new printable that I want to show you, but I used some of those in this journal. So I'll talk you through the journal first. So it's a fabric covered journal with some card inside the fabric, so it's really sturdy, a hidden spine. There's a pocket here with different layers of laces and doilies, and there's a big lace panel also that goes all the way around, and that's a pocket as well. And inside the pocket I've made this, I just put this card there to help with, because it's fabric, to help with getting it in and out of the pocket. This fabric tag backed with canvas on the back, and and some layers of lace, and I typed out the lyrics to a song I wrote a while ago about a rose garden, which reminded me a little of your grandmother, Melinda, that you told me about, that used to make plants out of bouquets, out of wedding bouquets that she made of flowers. So the lyrics go: rose garden falling into bloom, petals unfurling to make more room for beauty to blossom, layer by layer my heart has been calling its own whispered prayer. So I just I think it makes a pretty tag anyway, just to go in the front there. Actually, I'll put that back afterwards, that'd be easier. There's a lace tag here, lace closure, and then there are loads of bits of lace also inside the journal. So there's this pretty fabric here, which is the front and the back. Yep, I really love this journal. I love how it turned out. Yeah, I had a lot of fun making it. So let me just check that this is in frame. Okay, so the inside cover is made of canvas on the front inside cover and the back inside cover, and then there's a pocket also in the front inside cover again, which has layers of laces and doilies and a fabric ruffle and a bit of tulle, and there are a couple of stitched tags. I made these in my most recent craft with me, and I really love how they turned out. They're backed with tea dyed paper and stitched all the way around, and the leaves have got stitching on them as well. So those are the two tags that live in that pocket, and that's what the pocket looks like up close. It's got lots of different layers on there. And then there's another stitched tag here, again with layers of lace and paper, and there's stitching on the leaves and the rose there as well, backed with tea dyed paper and stitched all the way around. And then there's a tuck spot here with some vintage lace and paper and some other lace there. So that's that. There are loads of tags and journaling cards in this journal. And here, this is an example of, I have a new kit with my patterned paper. So this is, I'll show you the kit at the end, but this is, I used the patterned paper here to make an envelope or pocket. And this is a bit from my rose collage printable kit. So some lace there, and one of my a new watercolor rose print. So that's all there, and you can also write on the back. It's got tea-dyed manuscript paper on there, so it's a floating pocket or envelope. Fabric ruffle there. There's one of my rose watercolor prints printed out onto ivory card, and the edges have got distress ink, and you can write on the backs of those. As a stitched tag, this is a Tsunami Rose postcard printable. This is a label from Rachel Roxy Creations, and then there's bits of a doily fabric manuscript paper, and you can write on the back, stitched all the way around as well. This I remember making in one of my Craft With Me videos, this pocket with the things stitched, and that's one of Rachel's labels. Again, some of my pattern paper, back to tea dye paper, you can write on the back, and this is another of my rose watercolor prints. You can write on the back of that. So that's another floating pocket and tag. A lace trim, one of my watercolor prints. There's a pocket here with different papers and book page and fabric and lace, and then there's a tag in there as well. This is from my new Printable. So the Printable works where there are single pages, but there are also a double page spread. So if you folded it, it could be part of a journal. So there's this side, and then the other side of that is here. So that's all, would be all on one. This is a A5 size journal. So this, you get two on an A4 page, if you see what I mean. And when you fold it, you can bind it into a journal. But I'll show you. I keep saying I'll show you that at the end. But anyway, this is one of the new. It's a rose wreath. I printed it out on ivory paper because my printer really does not like me putting tea-dyed paper into it. This is a flip up, a tip-in, again with different fabrics and laces there. I think that looks really pretty. Some tea-dyed card. Another of my Printable. Again, this is the middle of the first signature. So again, this is a double page spread. So in the Printable, you can either have it as a single page, so you can print out any size you want, A4 or small or whatever, or you can have a double page spread. I've given that option in the kit. So this is one of them. I think that looks really pretty, so you could write in there. I know, Melinda, you want to use this journal for poetry and other bits and pieces, so that would be a good place to write stuff there as well. So that's middle of the first signature. Lots of writing space for you, the other side of that rose wreath. Lace trim, a watercolor print, one of mine. This is an envelope that I made using my pattern paper, and I sort of just used distress ink and stitched it to make an envelope with a fabric ruffle and other bits and pieces there. And inside, what I put inside? Oh yes, this is part of the kit. I'm going to put the link to. So this would be an example of you printing it out onto a single page there, and then that lives in here. Second signature, there's a tuck spot here and a tag with fabric and lace and paper, backed with tea-dyed paper on the back. A watercolor print, one of mine. Well, yeah, this is a part of the kit again, where you can print out on paper and put it in the journal. There's a flip up here with this pretty fabric and laces there. A lace trim, another pocket with various bits of paper and lace, and there's a tag in here. I think I made this in one of my Craft With Me videos. One of my watercolor prints. This is a print of a tag I made a while ago. I just really liked it, and I scanned it in, and it has the word hope at the top there, and a petal and rose, a bouquet of roses there. Would you say bouquet? Bouquet. I don't even know how to say that word. This is another example of what's in the Printable. So this is a double page spread, and again you could write your verses or your poetry or whatever you want to write in there. That's the middle of the second signature. One of my watercolor prints, a lace trim, another watercolor print, another stitched tag. This is a Tsunami Rose postcard, backed with tea-dyed paper and stitched all the way around. This is a tuck spot and a pretty tag with fabric, and this is my artwork into a sticker and backed with tea-dyed paper, all stitched. Another part of the Printable. the digital kit. Now this is a folder that I've left loose. I didn't bind it into the journal because I just thought it might be an extra place where you might want to keep bits and pieces. So there's a pocket here which is made with some cards topped with a bit of my rose collage, one of my rose collage pages, some lace, and then here's a tea-dyed envelope, and again an example of one of the pages that's in the kit. And then there's book pages and some of my pattern paper, some lace, and then on the inside is one of my printable pages, and then more papers to journal on, a bit of fabric there, some vintage paper, some ivory paper, some tea-dyed paper, laced trim at the top, and then at the back again is another tuck spot, oops, and a couple more bits. That's another part of the kit, that one there. So that just lives floating in the journal. Let's put that to the side. This is the third signature. A pocket here with canvas, some of my artwork, a ruffle, there's a tag here. There's a lace trim on the top of the pocket, some sturdy card there to write on, one of my watercolour prints. I like how that's overlapping. Again, another floating envelope. I have a tutorial on how I made these. I made them quite a while ago. I think this is slightly different, but sort of the same principle. I'll link it all anyway in the description box. So there's this lovely fabric which has got these little, I don't know what they are, beads, these little beads, fabric, yep, and then at the back it's decorated on the envelope flap, and then there's a tuck spot at the back of the envelope, and there's also a pocket, so there's just some pretty paper there with the fabric tab, and then inside the envelope I've put some more bits and pieces as well. So yeah, that's loose in the journal. A fabric ruffle there, lace trim. This is a pocket with a tuck spot, so that's a pocket, and there's also a tuck spot there, and that's some of my artwork, an artwork print, and then inside the pocket is this collaged and stitched tag. Another part of my new kit. Really love these pages. I think they're really pretty. There's a rose wreath there, that's part of the kit as well. Again, you could write a verse in there or scribble everywhere if you wanted to. Watercolour print. Another collaged and stitched tag. That's a tsunami rose bit there. Middle of the third signature. There are 3 signatures, 120 pages front and back. I don't know the measurements of the journal, but the pages are A5 in size. I'll put the measurement in the description box. The other part of the rose wreath page, and the other part of the kit page. Lace trim, watercolour print. And that's the journal. I really hope you love it, Melinda. I so enjoyed making it, and I'm sorry you had to wait so long. But yeah, I really hope you like it. So that's the journal. That belongs in there as well, and so does this. So there we are. And then this is the kit I've been going on about. And of course I haven't organised it properly. Well, I'll show you the individual pages first. So the files come with the pages as individual pages, and then I've also put a double page spread. So these are the individual pages which you can print out in any size, and of course on any colour paper that you want. I've printed these out onto ivory paper because that's the nature of the journal I was making, but you can of course print them out onto white paper or any paper you want, obviously. So there's a rose wreath there, that's the first one. That's that way. There's that one, you've seen that in the journal. Sorry, these are upside down. There's this one. The blank piece of paper, which is no use to anybody. There's that one. You can tell I'm very organized. Another blank piece of paper. There's this one. And then there's that one. And then of course you can print these out large onto A4. So here's an example on white paper. There's that one. To be honest, it doesn't really matter with these which way up. That one, there's this one. So that's an example of it printed out as a large, and that's super large, A4. And then I also included a bit of my pattern paper just to have a play with, so you can print that out also as A5 or an A4 paper. And that's, to have an example, yeah, it's on white paper. And then this is what I mean by the double page spread. Gosh, I've got such a croaky voice. I've been doing loads of singing this last week, and I was quite late last night as well. So yeah, you have also the option to print it out like that. So I have a file where it's a single page, and then also where I've put it onto 2 pages, and they mirror each other, so it'll be fine for you to fold it in half and then bind it into a journal. So there's that one. There's this one, which you saw, I folded it that way, it's the middle of the signature. There's this one. I love this one. I love them all. There's this one. So it would fold, could you fold it this way or that way. There's that one. There's this one. This one. And then these are examples of printed out large on white paper. So I'll put the link to that if you're interested and you fancy having a play with these. But thank you so much for watching, and I shall be back soon. I'm working on some little journals. I don't know, I've just been very slow with lately, but life has been really busy with lots of things. But yeah, I shall be back very soon to share some little rose TNs. Okay, lots and lots of love. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.